There's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP Morning Show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Good morning, Portugal, and I'd like to welcome you to another fantastic day.
Hey, Gumpers.
Hola, bon dia, alegria. Munson here with a Good Morning Portugal show, live stream and podcast. Please give yourselves a big round of applause. You made it till Friday this week. It's the 2nd of August, and Savvy Cat is joining us live from LA. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, so we better get her on. Here she is. Oh, no, wrong cat. That's the cat that's asleep on my desk at the moment. Let's give her a nice round of applause. Here she is, live from LA, Savvy Cat Ana Caramujo. How are you, Anna?
Yeah, and it's Thursday night here, and I always do that mistake. Like last month, I was also like, "Oh, we will talk Friday night," and I realized, "Oh, wait, it's Thursday night for me."
Yes. Yeah, how is that? How I take it you're completely adjusted to American time, apart from when I send you a message saying, "Are you okay for the morning?" It's like the morning. Okay, it'll be evening, and it'll be the day before. Are you otherwise adjusted?
My team is still in Portugal, so I'm pretty much doing it half. So my watch always gives me both times at the same time. So
does it? Very, very excellent. Okay, so yeah, and your heart is always running on Portugal time, of course. So tell us, how is it going over there?
I miss Portuguese food a lot.
Oh, bless you. Okay. What specifically, may I ask? If you could have any, if I could.
I don't think it's honestly about anything specific at this time. It's just about having healthy, affordable meals.
What?
And well-seasoned things.
It's not much to ask for, is it? Healthy, affordable, and tasty, which you might imagine would just be normal when it comes to ordering food, but you're not finding that in California.
No, it's completely. It was one of the huge culture clashes for me is that it is a lot more expensive to buy fresh ingredients and make your own meal than it is to buy a pre-made meal that is generally not great. When you go and look at the ingredients, it's a bit scary, to be honest. But the price is crazy.
Right. I mean, people do say this about California and America. Well, okay, I think California specifically.
I think California is particularly bad. I've been told that only New York tops California when it comes to costs. But yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, I don't know how to help with your need for Portuguese food. I mean, presumably, if you drive over to New Jersey, you could really connect with the Portuguese.
No, actually, there's a big Portuguese community around, and I even found a Portuguese restaurant in San Jose some time ago. But I did make a risky choice. I opted to try the. The pork here.
Yes.
And it was very undercooked, which is not.
Okay.
But they did not charge me for it. Okay, so in their defense, and I'll probably go and try something else some other day. Right. But yeah, it was a bit disappointing. The seasoning was okay though.
So they didn't charge you what? Because you are Savvy Cat from Portugal and they knew that, or you complained and said, "I'm not paying for it"?
No, I just said, no, this is really undercooked.
Right.
You shouldn't be serving this right like
Oh,
this.
yikes.
And I kind of felt bad for the server because, he was there pretty new and he had the unfortunate luck of getting like a Portuguese person on his second day. So.
Oh, right. Yeah. And he's probably been warned, hadn't he? Well, yeah, be careful when the Portuguese come in. They're very picky about their Portuguese food over here. Wow, amazing. So what else is, I mean, I'm loving your observations of life over there in the United States. I mean, we're all about talking about Portugal, celebrating life here and helping often Americans understand what's going on in Portugal. You've reversed that. You're Portuguese. You're over there in the States at the moment, you're on a mission, really, aren't you, to help people actually in their country of origin move to Portugal?
Because, 70% of my clients over the past 3 years have been Americans. And one of the common complaints that I get is that I can't help them on this site. So I
Is
just
that right?
figured I would do both things at the same time. So I would
So-
have a better way to reach the American clients, and I would also have a service that would be able to help them better.
That's fantastic. It's like hold my cerveja. I'm coming over.
Yeah, prepare your wallet though.
Incredible. So, what other observations have you got? We had a brief chat about public transport, which
Yeah, so I'm currently with LA, which is the first city that I've been to that has public transport, just note, which I was pretty happy about at the time. Like, wow, I finally can get around without using Uber and paying a fortune. Well, that's true, but the metro here is pretty scary, to be honest.
right.
It's full of homeless people, and I completely stand out. And when I go to like networking events and so on, and I meet local people from LA, a lot of them just tell me, "Oh, I never use the subway," and I go like, it's supposed to be public transportation, like not low income transportation, but I can see that it's pretty much low income transportation, and it's kind of scary because you get this homeless people on the subway. Homeless is a very big problem here in LA. It's huge. You will have
Right.
streets full of tents, and it's pretty unpleasant because they smell a lot, and then they go into the carts and you have nowhere to run to. Like just today I took the subway to West Los Angeles, and there was this person I think he was kind of passed out in the subway cart,
Oh
and
dear.
it was a terrible smell. And everyone that came in, everyone could see like the look of regret, like I shouldn't have come into this wagon. But then you couldn't run for it, could you? Everyone was like, okay, now where do I sit? Like,
It's sad. It's very sad, isn't it? What a sad state of affairs.
yes, and I think there's a lot of reasons for the homelessness here, but it seems that there are some programs to support people to get out of the streets. And just the other day, I met a girl that was in a relationship with a person that used to be homeless. And that person was homeless because he aged out of the foster care system. So basically, he turned into an adult and no longer had foster housing,
Mhm.
and became homeless. And he had to trick the system into thinking he was an addict in order to get housing and get himself back on his feet, because
Yikes.
the housing program was for addicts only.
Wow. Wow. What a
That's
situation. Yeah. And people are, I think, quite sympathetic to your experiences. Well, let's see if we can find a few positive ones in just a moment. But it is very interesting to hear about what you're experiencing firsthand. Ocean Dweller, good morning to you. Bon fin de semana, you say. Aviva over there in Madeira, of course. No one I know uses public transportation in LA. I used the bus once.
I ended up accidentally in a bus. That wasn't fun. So basically, I was using the Google to tell me how to get back, supposedly on public transportation. And it was like change from E line to J line, which I thought was both metros. No, one of them was a bus.
Oh, yikes. Okay.
Yeah.
I think we need to get you some help, don't we? A native Californian, originally, I think, in T-Duck. California has spent a stunning 17.5 billion trying to combat homeless. Doesn't look like it's working very well. All that happened was politicians got rich. How does that work? Homelessness is an epidemic in America, has been for many years, says OLP. Good morning to you, OLP. How are you doing? We've also got Pam Smith in with a bon dia. Antonio F. Bon dia, todos. Oh, we're going to talk about trying something Portuguese, which I've done. I got one of these Brito soaps. I'll talk about it later, actually,
Pretty
when you've gone to bed. But this is the most amazing soap that takes you back to your grandparents' house. It's quite extraordinary. Jackie's here with a bon dia gumpers as well. And James, old guy in Europe, he's got his episode 8 out on his YouTube channel, The Old Guy in Europe. Also from California. What can we tell Savvy Cat Ana Caramujo, James, about how to have a great time in California, as well as all these other observations that we've got from Anna this morning. Yeah, James saying, "Bom dia, gambas, feliz sexta a todos, como está?" So presumably after you've got to grips with the public transportation system, or actually getting an Uber instead, because it's a little bit more luxurious, and found some decent food, what's going on then with your missionary work basically over there?
It's actually, I've been surprised just by the sheer amount of people I run into that are thinking of moving to the Europe. A lot of them tell me is of Spain and Portugal, and I literally just stumble on them everywhere. It's incredible, but I suppose it's good for me, but I wasn't expecting for that to be this much people, to be honest.
Oh, what such a big interest in moving to Portugal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is amazing, isn't it? So I mean, certainly 10 or 20 years ago, you wouldn't have anticipated that, but something's going on, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's also the whole political situation that is kind of a mess now, and a lot of people are just looking to get out. And also the cost of living, because I've been talking to some people, and a lot of them tell me that costs gone up particularly crazily during and after COVID.
Yes, yeah, incredible. So people cannot complain anymore that it's difficult to work with you because you're in Portugal and they're in the United States. You are there among them now. Aviva says you need to rent a car and drive up the Pacific Coast Highway. If you do that, and presumably you are available to meet with people who want to see you, for example, in California.
I'm renting a car in the Bay Area. I don't like to drive that much, especially in locations I don't know, but I did cave into that last month in the Bay Area because it's just impossible to pay for Uber to go everywhere. It's way too expensive. And it's actually pretty nice to drive in the US. The traffic is super organized and the signing is pretty clear. The most annoying thing is that they have really, really large lanes, large roads with lots of lanes. And when you are coming from one side and need to get to the other lane to turn or go whatever, it's a pain because you have to go through like 5 lanes to get to the other side.
I've driven in LA and I really enjoyed it. I stayed with my cousin who happened to be in Bel Air. It was great fun, and he lived in a great location. And he asked me to drop his kids off at school. He said, "Yes, take the car, drop the kids off at school, across town." Really loved it. I had a great experience. But I've also experienced the 6-lane car park that you have there at certain times of day. And this is what T-Duck was saying earlier on, the city of traffic, I think you called it. It's 1 a.m. there, and Savvy Cat Ana is talking to us about her experience over there. Yes, wow, it is way early in LA, says Lord.
It's technically night. It's technically late.
Well, yeah, yes, it's late. Okay, fair enough. It depends how you look at it, I suppose. As you age, that does seem, I guess, could be described as very late for some people, or yes, alternatively very early if you're up and answering the call of nature, for example. Oregon coast is so beautiful, especially southern Oregon. Bandon area is what the OLP would recommend to you. Yes, get out of Los Angeles. Is some more advice that's coming in. What Aviva said, the coast, the north, driven that as well. Absolutely love that. Driving from LA to San Francisco. It's the last weekend.
Like the next place I want to go is to the north. It's kind of north side, I guess. It's the Seattle and Portland, Oregon side.
You are going
early. But I already been, like, I arrived in San Diego, then I went to the Bay Area, then I went to Phoenix. Now I'm in LA, then I'm going back to the Bay Area, and next will be the Oregon side. Yeah. But lots of traveling.
Amazing. Pam, it's the last weekend of the Sister Musica this weekend. It's been great volunteering experience. I saw the most beautiful concert video, some really amazing choir. I'm hoping that the creator of that, or whoever shared it on Facebook, will let me do that. Pam, it's been amazing, the Sister Musica weekend. Golden Gate Bridges' cousin is in Portugal, of course.
I've been to San Francisco, but I haven't went and took a photo of the bridge yet. I have to.
Okay. Well, it is. I think Salazar was influenced, was he not, or his team were, by that bridge, and had decided to get one built over here, over the Tagus in Lisbon, of course. OMG, of all the places in the US, Los Angeles, says Rui Correa. It's good for her to see LA. That's how Portugal will look if governed by champagne socialists. establishment usuals. Not holding back. Hoi. Good to see you this morning. And Santa Cruz, California is beautiful. It's the Ericeira, Anna, of the US. So pop along to to Santa Cruz as well. Great news, of course, if people can't get to meet you in person in the United States, you do have that long-awaited website. And I think you have to do a bit of shouting to get
Yes,
this
we
online.
finally have.
Finally. So walk us through the new website, if you will.
Okay, so we simplified the design a bit, but tried to make things a bit clearer to just, book the call and understand the services.
Yes.
More of a clean design. As you can see there, we will be doing a webinar about moving to Portugal from the US on the
Very
16th, and I'll be adding a lot of my experience here to, because there's so much things that I thought were obvious for me as a local, but then when coming here, I understand the difference now. There's
Yes.
a lot of things that I just understand the difference now.
Yeah, very good, very good. So that is the upcoming webinar is on the 16th of August. That will be 2 weeks from today, and you'll be doing
It
it
is on American time, so it's at 6 p.m. California time, so it's kind of in the middle of the night for Portugal.
It's so exciting, though, Anna, because look, you can say San Francisco 6 p.m., Chicago 8 p.m., and 9 p.m. in New York. In Portugal, of course, it's 9 p.m. in Braga, 9 p.m. in Lisbon, and 9 p.m. in Albufeira. We've just got the one. I guess. The autonomous regions, are they on a different time scale to us, or is all of Portugal on the same? The Azores and Madeira, is everybody on the same time zone? I think they are, aren't they?
I think Azores is in a different time zone, but not Madeira.
All right, very good, interesting.
And it's an hour difference, I think.
Right, Adilson Pedro. Olá. Oh, oi, bom dia. That's a very rare oi that we get there. Good morning to you, Alson. Pedro, good to have you here this morning. So, what else is new on the website then, Anna?
Well, it's basically the same things that we used to have, which tried to make a better user experience. That was what we mostly were trying to improve, because the platform we were using before is very limited. Oh, that section over there is new, where it's about locations in Portugal and what's good and what's bad about them, just to help people make the choice of where they want to look at. Was something that we were thinking of putting for a long time, and it's finally there.
Very good.
But yes, overall, it's the same thing. You can just pick the location just right there that you want to rent, and we'll take you directly to the services. Same thing for buying, or it will just take you directly to the calls, because you do need to book a call with us in order to book the buying services, because we want to make sure that the expectations are aligned. And we have both free calls that tend to be with one of my managers, either Edgar or João, that will be clarifying any questions you may have about the services. And then you can also book directly a call with me that will be more a direct advisory on your particular situation.
Very good. Now, your team is, of course, spread out across Portugal and serving people's needs and interests in various parts of the country. What's just recently come onto the radar then, location-wise? Because that trend is continuing, isn't it? There was a time when people only really knew about Lisbon and Porto, maybe the Algarve as well. Then a little bit of the Silver Coast, and then people started going up to Ponte Lima. What else is new? What else can we talk about?
I'm still a sucker for the north. And I would mention, I don't know if I already mentioned it here, but Vila Nova de Famalicão and Amarante are pretty nice. They are just about half an hour from Porto, and there are very nice and affordable locations at a close distance to Porto, especially from an American perspective. That's a big thing here, because it always bugged me how Americans were like, oh, it's just an hour drive. That's nothing. Now I understand how an hour drive is nothing.
Right. Yes, you really are. You really are getting into the American way, aren't you? Incredible. Is there anything we can do for you? This is quite. This could be quite useful, because we've got Americans here in Portugal, and you're the Portuguese over in America. How can they help you? What remains a mystery to you? And what haven't you figured out yet over there with that particular way of life?
I'm currently actually on the phase of getting my company open, which is a pain because I don't want to become an American tax resident or a long time resident for the fact.
Right.
I just want to open the company and I will keep working for the big Portuguese company and just be temporarily invited to work in the US. And one of the things I actually, if anyone has any referrals, I would love to have a direct partnership with a specialist in international tax from the US, because that's one of the big pain points from the US citizens moving to Portugal, because the US doesn't let them go as tax citizens, and the process is a bit more complex in that way. So it would be really nice to collaborate with someone that is able to help figure out that out.
Okay, Bobby's here with a simple 3 words there. Herdad de Mayo, where we were. Bobby, is that an offer of help to Anna over in the United States? Stuart Noakes as well, who I mentioned to you before, I think could be able to help you. He has experience of working both sides of the Atlantic. But basically, you need a little bit of help when it comes to establishing yourself as a trading entity in the United States. Do I
Yeah,
understand that?
that will be the next thing I will be doing. I did contact some people over in the US, and strangely, things haven't not been very fast, which is not very usual for the US at all. But
That's interesting,
yes,
isn't
I'm
it?
still trying to
Yes.
figure out the details on what's the best route I should take, given that I don't want to become a tax citizen, because then I have a problem because I need to have a CFO that will represent the company, and not being a resident, I cannot be the CFO. So it's kind of an issue I have to fix.
Now Antonio Barbosa also here. Yes, see you next week, Tony. Bit of Tony time next week. Antonio has some experience working with people in the United States, so he might be able to help you as well. So yeah, let's see how we can help Anna. I think you're amazing, Anna. Just getting that basic request from people. We can't work with you very easily. You're over there, we're over here. So you just went and lived there. You are living there for a few months to see how you can better serve Americans. That's amazing. Well done. Keep up the great work. Abandoned by the Sea has Face Rock and one that looks like the sorting hat from Harry Potter. I don't know what OLP is talking about. Oh, face rocks, as in you can see the faces on the rocks there at Bandon. They also make walking sand art labyrinths. Oh, okay. So you can get in there in a sand maze. It washes away with the tide like a mandala. Sounds like it's worth popping into Bandon in Oregon, and maybe the OLP will make a nice Portuguese dinner, bit of home cooking from the OLP there. Thanks for being here this morning. Bon dia, Antonia from the OLP as well. And Madeira apparently is the same time zone as the mainland. We're yet to find out. Oh, no, the Açores -1 hour from continental Portugal. So we've solved that mystery as well. Okay, well, final thoughts from you before you go to bed. You're not going out clubbing then in LA?
I actually have been to a few metal bars. There's one like really close to where I'm staying, and it was fun to see some of the concerts. That's kind of my thing. And
Yes.
another thing I was really looking forward in LA is because it has a lot of alternative fashion brands. That's also my thing. But it turns out that most of them are just online retailers. So that was a bit disappointing. But I wanted just to talk a bit about the different places I've been in the US. Like I was saying, like I went to San Diego, then Bay Area, then Phoenix, now LA. And strangely, and this was a surprise for me, the place that I actually enjoyed the most was Phoenix. Despite it's being ridiculously hot, I felt that it had a much more welcoming vibe. The networking events I've been to in Phoenix were amazing. It was like I made a bunch of friends there, and it was just really easy to have conversations with people and make more personal connections. So I really, really enjoyed Phoenix, and I honestly wasn't expecting. I just booked like a week for Phoenix, thinking it would be like a not so interesting location, but ended up being the highlight of the trip so far.
Amazing, amazing. And it does sound like you've had a lot of your preconceived notions challenged. It's easy
Yeah.
to grow up, isn't it? I mean, same for me as I grew up in UK. and all my education about the United States was through music and films. And when I went, actually, I must say, I wasn't that surprised, but I think America's changed a lot since I was there back in the year 2000, I think it was. So it's fair to say that you've had this like a culture shock in the way that Americans coming to Portugal might have.
It's the same, because there was a lot of things that I was told by my clients, but it's completely different to experience them. And it's kind of like, now it's like, I get it.
So that's been really helpful. That's been really useful.
Yes, it's I definitely understand the differences a lot better. And another thing that I realized is that a lot of people don't really consider the option of moving until someone just mentions it, and then they go like, that actually would be great.
Excellent. Well, if you're one of those people who thinks, yes, Portugal, that would be really great, pop over to savvycatrealty.com. Congratulations.
Show up at the webinar on the 16th if you are on America time, because on the Europe side, it will be in the middle of the night.
Yes, of course. All right. So the upcoming webinar as well, all of that available at savvycatrealty.com. Barak's suggesting to you to spend some time. It's just down the road, isn't it, from California? Go to North Texas.
Yeah, actually, well, I made my connection flight in Texas, in Austin, but it was just the connection on the airport. But I definitely would love to stop by if I get the time.
Okay, so reach out, Americans. If you do have some help for Savvy Cat Ana Caramujo, do let her know. And presumably people can get in touch with you via the website as well if they want to do that, Anna.
Yeah, if you send an email, even if it probably Katya will be the one checking it out. But if it's something for me, she will be forwarding it.
Wonderful. All right. Well, have a great time in the United States. When are you back?
I will have to be back in September to change my visa. But overall, the plan is for a 6-month stay, which is like 3 months to network and figure out the structure to try and get the service working on this side. And another 3 months to train someone else to do it, because I don't want to live here long term.
You've come to that decision.
I wasn't planning it from the start, but definitely the cost of life is really out there, and the safety, the healthcare, the food, there's a lot of highlights in Portugal, to be honest.
Basically, all the reasons people give for moving to Portugal. Yes.
But the things that are definitely better here in the US is the entrepreneurial mindset, the cost of gas, and
you can't bring that back with you. It's too dangerous.
Yeah, true. Not planning to. And now I forgot what was the third thing I was going to say, but okay, probably not.
Yes. Well, stunning and significant findings for you over there. Always fantastic to talk to you, especially in this context and with you being over there and finding out how you're experiencing it. Have a great bon fin semana, bon noite, and sweet dreams. Thank you for staying up late and talking to
Friday
us.
tomorrow for me. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, forgive me. All right. Well, happy Friday to you. And we'll see. We'll probably, when we next speak to you, it'll probably be when you're back here briefly in Portugal. So see you then, Anna. Thank you so much. Muito obrigado. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.
All right, there she goes. Fantastic. There's the website. That's savvycatrealty.com. And don't forget that webinar coming up. If you're listening in the United States or actually anywhere in the world and you're interested in moving to Portugal, I'm sure that'll be of interest to you. August the 16th, that's the Friday, 2 weeks from today, 6 p.m. San Francisco time, 8 p.m. Chicago, and 9 p.m. New York. Let's talk about moving from the US to Portugal, and you can do that in the company of Savvy Cat Ana on August the 16th. Okay, we're getting into some feel-good Friday fun, and we shall begin with a God Squad tip of the day, and we've got some events as well, thanks to Andy. Thank you very much, Bayer Andy, for sending your events from the Bairrada district, which you can see on the Gumper map. And if you have, if you're thinking, why do we always have to see events in the Bairrada district? Well, it's because Andy is kind enough to provide them for us. If you've got other events you want to share with us, do so. And if you feel super inspired, head over to the Gumper map, which you can find at goodmorningportugal.com, and add your own events to the map and points of interest and great restaurants and that sort of thing on the map. They're just in the way that Andy does. Aviva says, I lived in Scottsdale and really liked it. That's also Arizona as well, of course, isn't it? And the size and scope of the country and the cost of living are two things I think the Portuguese who have not been there simply can't imagine. It's big and it's expensive. Don't even begin. Okay, thank you. East to west, the US spans 4 time zones. Yeah, absolutely. So when I suggested to Anna that she might pop into OLP's house, not actually in Oregon, but in Montana at the moment, I forgot about that. But that's probably only a short car drive anyway, isn't it? To pop in and see you there, OLP in Montana. You see, James is absolutely right. I've got no idea of the scale of the United States. Just going to Lisbon for me from San Martino de Porto seems so eye-wateringly scary these days. I've become such a country bumpkin by the sea here. Good morning to you, Diego. Bon dia, Carl and Gumpers. Very warm week in Belfast, 20 to 23 degrees daily. City smells of charcoal as barbecues sizzle all week over there in Belfast. Thanks, Diego. How you doing, mate? Lots of love to you and family over there. Actually, I think we should have a look at the weather for the weekend as we look forward to the weekend here in Portugal. Let's see what's happening. Let's go to the Dynasty Homes weather, and I'll let that load and come back to that in just a moment. And just 1,200 miles to go from Oregon to Montana. Right. When you're arriving here, OLP, it's always great to see you on the screen here, but I always think to myself, yeah, I must ask OLP when you're actually arriving here in Portugal, either on scouting or to live here for good, right? Let's go back to that promised, aforementioned God Squad tip of the day. Then Coach Turner was in at 8 o'clock this morning. Bom dia, Gumpers, e feliz sexta-feira. Yes, it's Friday. Putting the sex in sexta-feira, and we have a weekend ahead of us. What are you going to be up to? I have training, coaching, and a lunch with old friends on Sunday. Now, Coach, have I got the Olympic medal winner from Portugal? Yes, I do. Portugal and Tamar. Before we get into your God Squad tip of the day, Portugal and Tamar are proud with the first medal at the Olympics 24 from Tomarense, Patricia Sampaio. Grateful to everyone who made this dream possible, to family members, the technicians, and the SFGP, the Philharmonic Society Gualdin Pais. My congratulations. So a team effort in Tamar, by the sound of it, to get Patricia over to France to ultimately win a bronze medal in the judo. So if I just take your comment off the screen for a moment, Coach Turner, for reasons which I'm sure you'll approve of. There's Patricia in action, bronze medal winner for judo. For Portugal, I believe Portugal's first in Olympics 2024. Congratulations to you, Patricia, from all here at the Good Morning Portugal community. Let's get back to your God Squad tip of the day then, Coach Turner. We've been talking about leg strength, haven't we, this week? And the God Squad tip of the day then, one of my key roles as a coach is to help athletes perfect their technique, not just in running, but also drills and exercises. It's very difficult to sense when something is wrong. So even for simple exercises like press-ups or squats, if you don't have a coach or personal trainer, take a video of what you're doing from a couple of angles. Then compare it to one from YouTube. It's a great idea. There are plenty of examples out there, though try to avoid people selling stuff. That is quite difficult, to be fair, on YouTube, is it not? That should give you enough of a clue as to what to correct, comparing yourself to videos you see on YouTube. You also have to be careful with that as well, don't you? Remember, by doing, see you, Anna, all the best there over there in the United States. Remember, by doing exercises correctly, you will strengthen the right muscles and minimize risk of injury. So it's important, but most important of all, enjoy it. That's a great reminder, isn't it? So whatever keep fit working out you're doing, make sure you enjoy it, because that's the way to keep doing it and to embed it in a positive and useful way in your life. Mrs. M, what do you think of this, Coach Turner? Mrs. M is doing this crawling thing. I think there's that seems to be the craze of the moment. Excuse me, Marge, I need to have a sip of water. Now, if I put the other studio, I wonder if I can get some live purring. I'll get the cat on the other microphone here and see if we can get some live, because I could have had the cat talking to you while I was just taking a sip of water there. So her mic is now up. She's asleep next to me. If I put the microphone over the purry bit, you're going to talk to everybody, Jenny. You can hear him. You can probably hear live stroking on the Good Morning Portugal show. but she's not purring yet. I shall leave her microphone up just in case she does want to contribute to the show this morning. She's fast asleep on my day. If you weren't here earlier on, you'll have missed this picture of Jenny. Look, fast asleep on the studio desk this morning. Still there, but I can't get a purr out of her just yet. No, she must be in a state of deep theta sleep or something like that, a state of deep dream sleep, catching mice and doing that sort of thing, or just yowling at me to give her more food, which tends to be how she gets fed. Right, where were we? We were talking about the God Squad to the tip of the day. Oh, and yes, Coach Turner, this crawling thing, Mrs. M's got into it. And you'll see if you take Coach Turner's advice and have a look on YouTube at fitness videos, I'm sure you'll see the current fitness craze, or certainly how it seems to me to be, of crawling, grown-ups crawling around on their hands and knees, emulating the development of how toddlers get from crawling up onto their feet, but how they develop a lot of core strength in the crawling phase before they are up on 2 feet. And we give them a nice big round of applause. Anyone else doing that here in the Good Morning Portugal community, crawling around the house to the mirth and to the collective mirth and merriment of other family members in the household, but really enjoying it? There is a mischievous smile on Mrs. M's face as she crawls from room to room here in San Martino de Porto, and I think she's really enjoying it. João Ernesto, coming back to you with your Bom de Alegria, Portugal. Thank you very much for your greeting. What are you up to this weekend, João Ernesto? We know you're an excellent planner when it comes to excursions and events, and thank you very much for the earlier videos this week of the Vivaldi on 2 accordions, as well as that fantastic Celtic pipe music that you sent us from Ponta de Barça. What have you got planned this weekend, João Ernesto? Any other weekend plans? Do let us know about them in the chat, and send any pics and videos on 913-590-303, if you will. And we have a new name in the community this morning. That'll be Adelson Pedro with an Oi, bom dia. How are you, Adelson? Tell us more about yourself, if you will. And just catching up with the comments here in the chat. Yeah, 1,200 miles from the OLP to current home in Montana. And Deagle's greetings there to Antonio, Jackie, Barak, and Jackie twice there, Jackie the Humble Crafter. Yes, did I mention that the Old Guy in Europe has his latest video up on his YouTube channel, and Old Guy in Europe? That'll be episode 8 up there. By Randy is here, who I mentioned. Bon dia e bon fim de semana. What are you all up to? We'll find out what Andy might be doing in just a moment as well. And Carl, I restarted my daily 15 to 30 minutes of daily Portuguese learning on Memrise yesterday, 1st of August. Well done. How's that going, Deagle? It's all, what's this? By the way, 2 seats still available for our upcoming Portugal Experience event. That's with Antonio. He told us about that last time he was here. It's a full, all-inclusive 10 days, 9 nights itinerary, exploring Porto and the Douro Valley, as well as the northern Minho region and Galicia in Spain from September the 14th through to the 23rd. A lot of people on that are real estate agents, realtors, but you don't have to be to join that party, where Antonio will look after you in a 5-star kind of way. I'm sure he'll tell us more about that on Tuesday when he joins us next week. Bon dia alegria, what a beautiful sunny day. Is that how it's looking in Central? Still a bit misty here, Pete. How are you today? Yeah, short drive to Montana. See, I've no idea of the scale of the United States. If it's like pub crawling, I'm up for it. No alcohol is involved in that by Randy, so he's on second thoughts, not too bothered about that. Let's have a look at this weather then. Across Portugal for the weekend. Let me make sure I've got the right website. That was savvycatrealty.com. Let's go to the Dynasty weather here and find out what's going on in Portugal this weekend and see what's happening right now at this moment. Right, in Lisbon, in the capital, 20 degrees currently with scattered clouds, 27 the high today, and a nice looking weekend. You can see that on your screen there, can't you? Yeah. So a nice looking weekend and through to Monday with temperatures up to 31 on Sunday. That will be 88 in the Fahrenheit on Sunday in the capital. That sounds nice, doesn't it? A bit of cloud returning early next week, and then a sunnier week by the look of it, and another sunny weekend the weekend after. In Porto, 19 and a few clouds at the moment. It will rise to 20 today, Sunday being the high point of a magnificent 22 degrees in Porto this week. And that'll be nice and comfortable and sunny up there in the north. Coimbra, 32, 33 to look forward to over the weekend, and a sunny Saturday and Sunday. And as you might expect, Faro, sunshine all the way. 23 degrees at the moment with a clear sky, rising to 31 today, and the temperatures going up to 31 on Monday and Tuesday as well. So some good weather for the south in prospect there. Braga, 31 degrees the high today. That's looking good, isn't it? 19 degrees with a few clouds at the moment. And as we scroll down, seeing a generally sunny picture for the weekend across Portugal. Beja, look at that, 37, 38 over the weekend. And sunny Castelo Branco, there you go, Pete, 39. Tomorrow's going to be nice and hot in central Portugal, 38 on Sunday, and sunshine all the way for next week. Be careful out there. Evra, 33 degrees the high today with a nice warm and sunny weekend. Temperature highs of 37 on Sunday, 36 tomorrow. And let's have a look in my district here. Pretty mild, really, by comparison with central area. Then 19 degrees and overcast at the moment. That looks about right. My studio thermometer telling me it's 25 inside the studio and 21 degrees currently outside. So Leria will get to 26 over the weekend. The high and sunny on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Santarém, also warm. 36, the high point on Sunday, and sunny and Viseu finally. 36 degrees on Sunday, 37 on Saturday. So a sunny weekend in the Viseu district as well. Other areas by request. Got Bragança, Guarda, Porto Alegre, Setúbal, as we found out some great information from Ian and Fabrizio yesterday about Stoobs, and it's going to be 32, the high there for you two gentlemen, Fabrizio and Ian, over the weekend. So, yeah, let us know if you want your specific weather here in Portugal by district. Just finishing then with the autonomous regions, the Azores, raining at the moment, 26, the high today, currently 22 with some light rain, rising to 26 and 25 respectively on Saturday and Sunday, but sunny. And Madeira, for you, Aviva especially, 13 degrees and a few clouds. Perhaps you could corroborate this for us. 23 the high today, 22 and 24 respectively. Sunny weekend for Saturday and Sunday. That's your weather here on the Good Morning Portugal show. We look like we're on the Silver Coast. What's that weather-wise, Barrett? Or what? Because it's misty over there in Travanca at the moment. I would have to get some knee pads if I start crawling around the house. Decathlon, here I come. Yeah, crash helmet and high-vis jacket might be a useful health and safety precaution as well. I'm pretty sure I would not want to be crawling around in a pub. That's not actually how it works, James, but we'll explain. We'll explain. Next time you come over to San Martino, perhaps we can simulate a little pub crawl. And Pam, Carl has the WhatsApp link if anyone is interested. You must have mentioned your chat club a little bit earlier on, and I do have that, and I'll make sure people have got the link to that, Pam, as well before the show's out today. And I think you've got a meeting specifically today, have you not? So let me just find you on WhatsApp. 913-590-303. The cat is making it difficult. Now lying on the plus key. Sorry about that, Jenny, but if you will lie on my keyboard, I do have to give you the occasional poke. Yes, I'm going to put the WhatsApp link in the chat now. Just wanted to let you know that we've got a new WhatsApp group for the chat club. This is it. And you will be having a welcome information session for new members to find out what the chat club is all about today at 6 p.m. And that follows with a first Friday of the month meeting every Friday. First Friday of the month. There's your WhatsApp chat club link going into the chat right now there for you, Pam. Great service. Thank you for doing that. Yes, our Portuguese chat club, you say, has a welcome session tonight for new members to find out what it's about. We have a WhatsApp group, and there is the link for you in the chat if you want to follow up on that. Is she laying flat down crawling? I'd like a video. I will have to ask her permission before that gets released anywhere near the public domain. We've got morning, Big Tony. We're doing a pub crawl and festa this evening. Minus 30, and sorry, not minus. That would be really unusual for Castelo Branco at any time of the year, let alone this time of year. 33 degrees today and 39 by Friday, as I outlined in the weather report. Which reminds me, the mention of Antonio F's name there. I wanted to ask you for some of your help on this, Big Tony, as Pete calls you. Let me first set this up correctly. I tried something Portuguese this morning, and I want to get some of your expert input on this. So, as you may have noticed, and thank you for your kind words, OLP, I started shaving again. And what I didn't realize, a bit like a kid, did you enjoy your first day at school? Yeah, but I don't think I'll go back tomorrow. I am enjoying, in a strange sort of way, this new look, but it does mean shaving every morning, something which I'd forgotten about. I bought myself a shaving brush yesterday and a bar of soap. This is the bar of soap from Brito, one of my favorite brands here in Portugal. And I found a fantastic website, A Vida Portuguesa, I think it's called, which celebrates brands like this and many others. And I shall return to that because it's absolutely delightful. They have Brito products on their website, as they do in my local Intermarché. So I bought this along with my shaving brush yesterday. This is a sabonete, a bar of soap of Pedro Pomes, who sounds like, sounds like a Portuguese celebrity. As it turns out, this is like walking in to the bathroom of your grandparents. I don't quite know what Pedro Pomes means, or I didn't know what it meant until I tried to lather it up today, so to speak. And who doesn't like to lather it up first thing in the morning? I worked my shaving brush across this bar of soap this morning, only to discover that this bar of soap is part pumice stone and part coal tar soap. So in that way, do you remember perhaps being in your grandparents' bathroom and seeing a rather unpleasant looking pumice stone that they would use, I guess, for rubbing down various parts of their bodies? You can do that. If you want to relive that moment and that memory, you can do that with this bar of soap, because it's like, these days, the sort of fashionable exfoliation and all these soaps with jojoba beans or coffee grounds in them. This is old school. This is pumice or pomace, is it? Inside a bar of soap that smells like your granddad as well. Coal tar mixed with abrasive. It is like going back a couple of decades, probably not entirely suitable for shaving with, but I did it anyway. So can you tell us more about that, Antonio? What is this Pedro Pomes all about? And does it remind you of your grandparents? All right, let's have a look at some of these events that are happening. We've got by Randy letting us know here. It's our Village Gastronomy Festival. This is probably one of the events that he has shared with us for this weekend as we go into the weekend. So we'll be having a good feed up, then giving it a whirl on the dance dirt or dance. Surely that should be dance floor there by Randy. Let's see what's going on in your part of the world this weekend as we wait for news from Antonio F about the strange bar of soap that I discovered. Festival in Costa Nova then in Aveiro, super event in huge tents on the lawn between the lagoon and the beach. Menu full of goodies, including seafood, mariscadas and stuffed lobster, seafood rice, beans, shrimps. Oh, stop it. Scallops, oysters, clams, fish. Oh, did you see that news story where some Portuguese boffins have found a way of extracting drugs from the drinking water using clams? Now, I know some people are probably hearing that, want to pretend to be a clam and enjoy extracting drugs from the drinking water. I think it might be pharmaceutical drugs and all that stuff that ends up in the water. But well done, the Portuguese boffins who are using clams. Probably don't want them in our seafood rice after that. But then again, Parque Ribeiro de Careiro Velho in Oia this weekend. If you're in the area, why not pop along to this super festival between Oia and Oliveira de Bairro? Some great fun bands playing. Make some memories on a balmy Portuguese summer night. Thank you for these, Andy. Mama Rosa, it's the time of year. All the immigrants flock to Mama Rosa to party. This is the great homecoming that we're seeing in August, of course, here in Portugal. The Portuguese diaspora, many of them return home during August and have either bought or borrowed or hired a fancy car to come back and show the folks back home how well they're doing. This sounds like one such gathering like that. Meet old friends and make new ones. A great time is guaranteed. Don't miss this fantastic free event, including various food hall tents, lunch and dinner at the Monstra Gastronomica. It sounds like the one you're going to, plus the obligatory, Randy's favorite, a Zumba party as well, right there. Always in on the Zumba action is Randy. Supercross at tonight at the Supercross track in Putaina. This is a great event we've been to many times, says Barandi. You get to mix amongst the riders, their teams, and the pits, and then get to watch the thrills, spills, and jumps of this adrenaline-packed floodlit show. That will be tomorrow evening, the Supercross at night at the Supercross track in Putaina, if you like a bit of motocross. And one of the biggest and best events in Portugal, Expo Facic, continues, or is it Expo Facic? Event recommended by Filomena, of course, in Cantanhede, and that concludes on Sunday. So get along there if you don't want to miss that. Expo Facic in Cantanhede. San Lorenzo, get along to this super festival in Bustos. They always have great bands, including a 90s tribute band this year, plus a fab cocktail bar. Loads of emigrants return. Yep, same phenomenon there I just mentioned. Loads of emigrants return to party and have fun in the magical, warm Portuguese summer atmosphere. Watch out for French number plates, getting away from the Olympics and back to Portugal to meet with family in August. Free nature walk or run, Fermentelos Agada. That will be Trail of the Wells, the Trilho dos Poços, course type, small circular, starting and finishing point at Largo de Senhora da Saúde at Fermentelos there. That's a nice activity. A run of 12K and a walk of 8K there. And finally, thank you very much for these, Andy. Festa de Town. This is what Korea and the Bairrada are well known for, and Meilhada. Festa do Leitão e do Espumante. This sounds great. Traditional Bairrada suckling pig and bubbly party in the lovely town of Korea, where we once lived. A great excuse to visit the area, the thermal park walk, and the fabulous Palace Hotel. Golf course and pool. Is that golf course open again? And the Bairrada Museum, plus the bars and restaurants. So a great opportunity to head to Korea. Now, I found and sent to T-Doug a wonderful picture of Korea, the plane trees there. We happen to be talking about the plane trees of Korea in conversation. And up popped on my timeline a picture I took there, which I want to share with you, which is some way back in our conversation. So just saving that now. I want to share this with you. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful plane trees of Korea on the lovely avenue as you make your way from the station towards the Thermal Hotel and the Korea Palace Hotel. You can make your way down this avenue, which I've always thought when people used to travel there, when the Lisboetas used to go to Korea to go to the thermal baths, to the hotel and the casino there, and I think this was a thing to do, and they would go by train. And then presumably they would be drawn by horse and carriage down this plane tree avenue towards the hotel at the end there. Isn't that fabulous? Offering some beautiful shade in the blistering heat of the summer there. Those are the plane trees of Korea. Let's go back to some of your comments then as we conclude and climax the show today as we head into the weekend. Wishing you a bon fin de semana. Let's see what's happening in the chat. Pedro Pomish. It is a thing then. It is pumice stone. Thank you very much for that. It certainly is. I can recommend that. Is that granny smelling soap the one that Wayne Rooney recommends? Might be Peter. My pleasure, Pam, to share your chat club. No worries at all with that. Anything like that, always happy to share. September or October, we shall see you in Portugal. That's great news. Fantastic. And roughly 3,000 miles east to west. What is that? Is that just California? We've got messages coming in, continuing to come in. I've lost my place in the chat this morning. Where did we get to? Does she wear knee pads? No, she doesn't. She's actually, I was going to say she does it naked, which is true. So that's the real reason why I can't send you the videos, Sarah. Our Village Gastronomy Festival, thank you. We showcased that, which when sharing your events there by Randy, thanks for those. Very interesting, says Pete. If we had remained on all fours, we would have never have developed breasts, as they are chest bum replacement. You are such a mine of information, Pete, and an obvious asset to any pub quiz team. I'm trying to kind of visualize that, and it's not a very comfortable process, I have to say, while I'm trying to concentrate on presenting a live stream here. Wouldn't being on all fours be particularly dangerous, given the seismic activity and odor of some Where is your mind going with this, Pete, this morning? I blame myself. Is it just me, or the Portuguese I see in this channel are more interested in selling stuff to foreigners rather than actually interacting, socializing, or exchanging views and experiences? That is a scandalous rumor, Rui. Portuguese people who join us here, are sometimes promoting their services. But take Antonio F, for example, here out of the goodness of his heart and giving us an education. There you go. There's an example. Pedro Pumice Stone. Carl, would you please remind us of the name of the Portuguese clothing company that you have mentioned and liked in the past? One of many would be Isto, I-S-T-O, and another is Truja Mosha. So I'm not sure which of those you mean. The kind of hipster one is Isto, which I remember Pete taking offense to. And Truja Mosha is a bit more crafty and a bit more folksy, you might say. And they're based in Coimbra. Pumice, says the OLP, must make your face as smooth as a baby's bottom. Yours is rosy and shiny. Yes, when I realized it had small stones in it, I didn't actually use it this morning. I think I used a different Portuguese bathroom soap for my face this morning. And I am open to sponsorship, should you be watching Gillette or Portuguese soap manufacturers. Will the weather still be okay in October? Now, rumor has it, OLP, the weather will be amazing in October. Rumor has it, mainly a rumor I'm starting right now for you. But given that the weather has been really weird this summer, what we're hoping, I say this on behalf of me and the Portuguese here, is that we will have a San Martino summer. It's an actual thing where summer extends into the San Martino festival. Not San Martino de Porto necessarily, but the San Martino time of year, the time of chestnuts and jerapiga. And when you have a San Martino summer, I guess like an Indian summer, it's a late one. And as you can hear there, very late. It's warm and sunny in the first week of November. So I'm going to stick my neck out and with freshly shaven neck and say, yes, the weather will still be okay in October and perhaps might even be better than we've experienced so far this summer here in Portugal. So we're keeping our fingers crossed for you. Antonio F adding to that. Yeah, there may be some rain in October already. Stop it, Antonio F. I'm trying to create an entirely different impression for OLP. But yeah, I'm hoping for a late Indian San Martino sort of summer. I was in Nazaré yesterday. Almost half the cars were foreign registered. Yeah, that is Portuguese folks driving back, isn't it, to celebrate August here. That has begun in earnest. Some excellent tips, actually, from the Dream Team session last night, from the Portuguese members of the Dream Team panel, talking about how to prepare for August here in Portugal, and some surprising answers. If you want to review that over on the Expats Portugal YouTube channel. It was a great session last night. Thank you, Gilda. Thank you, Nuno. Sarah was there as well from Spartan FX. OLP from James. So far, over the past few years I've been here, it's been generally beautiful in October. So there you go, especially the first couple of weeks. Then gradually cooling down. The first rains towards the end of the month. That's really helpful. Thank you, James, there. Pete, Rui. This is from Pete to you, Rui. Me and Brian Andy publicize and work at the local festas. Antonio F is always providing useful community information. There are always other ways of looking at things. Pete responding there on our behalf. Thank you, Pete. We always love September and October here, says Pete. It is like a second spring. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I talk about the plane trees in my latest old guy video. That'll be episode 8. Nice plug there. Michael Barton just joining us late, and a quick check-in. Have a great weekend. Bon fin semana to you, Michael. To you and yours. Lots of love to the Miranda de Corvo Massive this morning. West Coast to East Coast, 3,000 miles. Thank you, OLP, for that. And Rui, true and sometimes useful. However, I'm of the opinion that money or financial interest can distort things. Hell yeah. Relationships, it's a different territory, yet not necessarily bad. Thank you. Carl, does the soap smell of overboiled cabbages and cat wee? Now, the studio smells of cat wee for different reasons, not because of the soap I put on my face this morning. Not sounding good, mate. Clearly, memories of your grandparents' home, boiled cabbage and cat wee. It happens, doesn't it? That was it. Isto. Okay, yes, you've got what you wanted there, James. Fantastic. And I noticed that Carl had a shave. Yes. That's what Savvy Cat said to me this morning. Oh, you're quite hairless, was how she put it. And Pete, one of the loveliest things about being in central Portugal, as you have so wonderfully pointed out, is that the community often comes before personal profit. Bem-aja there. Yeah, absolutely, Pete. Well said. And we pride ourselves on that. We do have people who are sharing what they're doing with their businesses here, but I think we can rightly pride ourselves here on people being a community, first and foremost community, and with the occasional bit of enterprise wedged in as well. October weather, says Deagle, usually stunning for you, OLP. We would usually go October, November to Portugal from Belfast. It's warmer than Belfast in the summer. And thanks for all the weather info, says OLP to everybody. So well done, everybody. Thank you very much. See, there you go, Roy. That's our team effort, our community effort every morning here on a Good Morning Portugal show. The tent is going up for our São Bernardo Feira. It's relentless, Pam, over in Alcobaça. No sooner are you over the Sister Musica event, you're going straight into São Bernardo. Have a great time there. And Antonio F. Urging us to hit the like button if you haven't done it already. I know. Oh, there's Ginny showing a bottom to the camera in true cat style. It's not a Zoom call, you know. That's when I arrive in Portugal, spend a couple of nights at home in Lisbon, and then escape to the countryside. Yes, I know from experience that time of year, that second spring there. And that's a nice point to end on. The Get a Room, you two. The new bromance with Pete and Rui this morning. A bem-aja to you all. A bon fin semana to you all. That just brings us up to 10 o'clock this morning. I wish you a great weekend. And we'll see you again on Monday, of course. All the very best. Take care. And bye for now. Nice big round of applause to you. See you Monday.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Good morning, Portugal, and I'd like to welcome you to another fantastic day.
Hey, Gumpers.